Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a quick look here again at PEPE. This is actually a pretty cool one. I like what I see here so far. We got a decent little Elliott wave on a smaller time frame, forming fairly well. There's a possibility of a pivot here off this 0.5 fib level here. So we'll talk about that here in a minute, but we do want to open up, of course, with some liquidation, kind of see where we're at with that. So if you are new to the channel, welcome aboard. Thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button, comment below, let us know, kind of how you're doing with this trade. Are you trading PEPE right now? I know a lot of our community members are, with pretty good success. I know there was some trouble yesterday because it dropped pretty difficultly to the downside when we had some liquidation events occur here recently, but PEPE has been holding the line fairly well where other coins have been dropping, so that's a good sign. Take a look here. I'm zooming in, of course, but we saw some recent shorts get destroyed here at about 1.3, roughly about, 1.5 is that heavy concentration liquidation the upside. So we'll look at that on the charts here. Again, depending on the chart that you're using, it'll basically be like, 1500 is probably a better way to describe it. If you're using this specific chart, keep in mind this is that 1000 differentiator there. So anyways, however you look at it, no matter what the numbers are, 1.5 or 1500, that's essentially that area of liquidation that we can see right up here. And it would make sense because our fifth and final wave could be upwards of that level. Okay. Now again, it's still premature to anticipate that, but at this point here, we're looking pretty solid. We've had our nice expansive wave, could even be developing our expansive wave right now. This is tentative. Keep in mind this can still continue to go higher. Okay? So we'll continue to maintain that and pay attention to that, but for the most part, it's decently positive. And what's also positive too is the macro here. Now we did lose a 20-day SMA when we saw our first Bitcoin dump roughly a week ago. Okay, so last Friday was a nightmare for a lot of folks. But PEPE has since held the line pretty well. It hasn't closed any lower than 1200 or 1.2. So it's really, really good little area there of consolidation before the price legged up. While we saw some candle wicks down, the price has since done very well from that range. Okay, so we can kind of presume that 1200 to 1100 range is a very solid support range. We take a look here at the RSI. We can look, we're back up over 50 in the RSI. I didn't spend much time below. That's a really, really good sign. So pending we don't close below that here today, we should be in pretty solid shape. We can see money flow index increasing, stochastic swinging up, and MACD converging here. They're all very, very positive signs. Again, the thing you want to pay attention to here is being above this ascending trend line and also the 50-day SMA. That's generally where the ascending trend lines will align themselves with. That's why I highlighted in orange, kind of give you that parallel, if you will. Generally speaking, we're in very good shape here, remaining above that. While we wicked down a couple of times, we didn't close below that level. That's a good sign. Same thing here as well, this descending trend line. We got to respect the fact that we're not above that yet, and that is an important thing to close above here soon. So a little premature to presume that we've broken bullish, but generally speaking here with this descending trend, that's how you identify a trend reversal, is by going range bound, which we saw here, and then effectively closing above that range. That's what we're looking for here today. Okay. So that's just something to kind of pay attention to. Is it a fact that the price is going to continue to go higher? No, not necessarily. But it does tell us that we are in pretty good shape here and doing better. However, haven't broke this descending trend line. So to me personally, a retracement would make sense before that happens. Likely to the most recent resistance at this about like 1300. I'm rounding up a little bit, or roughly this $1,300 range. Sorry, 1300 range, not dollar. Do not get it twisted. That'll be phenomenal if and when we get up to even a $1, but yet alone 1300. Anyways, 4-hour time frame. Let's quickly recognize that we are above 50 on the RSI. Fantastic. Stochastic is starting to swing down, getting topped out there. Makes sense. This is a bit of a run here that it's had, and pullback would make sense. But MACD is still converging, and we can still see stochastic RSI and of course money flow index looking quite favorable, even though we could see the price pull back. I don't think it's going to be a massive pullback. My speculation is it'll probably pull back to this 0.5 fib level, and you're wondering where I get 0.5 on the fibs here. Keep in mind I have my macro fibs up already, but if you look at this expansive wave, that's how you get your 0.5. Likelihood of the price action bouncing off this level here. It's really characteristic for the retracements on any wave, specifically Elliott wave, to come down to this 0.382, 0.5, 0.618 levels. That would make sense though. 1280 as a rough estimate, that's a 0.5 level. That'd be a solid consideration for a long. There's also a possibility of about 1300 is getting that most recent high turned into a new low. Okay. We can also summarize that we've probably already done that. We've likely already retested our previous resistance as a support, and we may not even get that kind of capitulation. So let's take a look at the Ichimoku cloud and confirm that the cloud is running concurrent here, or roughly the same as that 1300 mark. So in that sense, this is also kind of reaffirming itself as a strong likelihood of a bounce if we pull back to that level. Emphasis on the word if, folks. We don't know we're going to come down that range. So keep in mind it could continue to run. But if it runs, runs now or runs later, if it pulls back, that's a common area of retracement. Last but not least, let's look at our TPO here. We can kind of confirm in the last 24 hours that we've seen the most amount of volume perfectly right there at 1300. So that's reaffirming strong support level there. So solid entry at 1300 if you're going to consider one. That's generally what we're looking at there. So all in all, looking pretty favorable here. I like what I see here so far with PEPE. It's looking pretty strong. Once again, we haven't broken above this descending trend line yet, so it would make sense for the price to, kind of bounce and try again later. That's generally how it's supposed to work. And with Bitcoin being a bit on the overextended side, I'm expecting Bitcoin to pull back to the 68.5, 68.1 range. If that does happen, 69,100. 68.5 range right here in this little area. If that does happen, then of course we'll see somewhat of a correction from PEPE. Okay, so really just depends on how the Fed meeting goes here today. We're gonna get some results here in about 15 minutes. So those results would have already been in by the time you see this in all likelihood. All right, so best of luck, folks. Low leverage, low position sizing. Please make sure you do not over leverage. You want to use awesome leverage on the best exchange, in my personal opinion. We have over 500 traders using BitUnix in our community right now. Use my link to register, and you get some nice benefit rewards there. Really solid option for them. And I would also recommend to check out our TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I have those now, as well as Twitter, Telegram, Discord. Some really cool stuff. And again, you want to become a better trader. CryptoCache.tech is a site. Last month was a very solid month. This month's actually a pretty decent one. We've broken even, I guess, with a couple of stop losses, but generally speaking, still not all that bad, really, when you think about how many people got absolutely obliterated by those 10 to 20% drops. Yeah, absolutely a thing. So thanks again for watching, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.